Welcome to the MBM Vault live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca. I'm your host, Abigail Hamilton, and with me I have Kelsey Miller. Woohoo! This show is all about music, local talent, industry news, and most importantly, fun. Today we'll be interviewing Kelsey, and we'll be talking about her life and career so far, as well as her current enterprise legacy branding. She is the manager. Isn't that exciting?
It's very exciting.
I don't know why I made that so awkward. So, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Tired, to be completely honest.
It's really early in the morning.
Yep. Petition for the next Vault show to be later in the day. We really lucked out last semester.
I agree.
So, but we will fight through it. We'll be 9 a.m. every Thursday.
Woohoo.
We have our first segment. We're going to talk about Oshawa Music Week and an upcoming breakthrough event. There will also be a flashback newsletter coming out in the next 2 weeks. Don't hold me to that. Matt and Abby told me when it was, and then I immediately forgot, and then forgot to ask. So there will be a flashback newsletter coming out soon. And then there's going to be a breakthrough event, another open mic at Copper Branch across the road from the school on Thursday, February 1st, and it is $2 admission fee for non-performers. Have you gone to any of the open mics yet?
I haven't yet because I keep doing them when I have to go to work.
Oh, right, because they're like late on like Thursdays.
Yeah,
usually.
they're always like Thursdays or Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
But next one.
I've gone to 2 of them. They're really good. I meant to go to the last one as well, but I was sick and I didn't want to get everyone else sick with the horrendous cold I had. So, and then Oshawa Music Week. Oshawa Music Week will be coming up on the first week of April. We are in second year, so we are more like running it this year, if that makes sense. I'm in the admin team, so once the events get up and going, it's just going to be me taking pictures and making sure everyone gives me their contracts. So
That'll be interesting.
And you're in the festival team?
Yes, so my team is like planning all the events and executing them. So right now we're still in like the brainstorming stage of what we want to do and how we can pull it off. But hopefully we'll have the event set by next week.
Yeah, you guys had like a whole presentation on Wednesday about like what events you guys want to do, and honestly some of them are really interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything in case they don't happen, but there's some that I'm like really attached to, and if they end up not happening, I'm going to be really upset. But I think hopefully we can pull it off.
I'm happy I didn't get into festival. I am not like complaining about Oshawa Music Week again on air. I promise I didn't mean to do it last year. It was just circumstantial. So I think it's good that I didn't get in festival. I did apply for it to be like hospitality because I wanted to do hospitality, and since it was in like festival, summit, and admin as well. Yeah. I either wanted to do that or like the documentation in admin, which is what I ended up doing. But I feel like I just sit there and I'm really good at playing devil's advocate, as you saw yesterday. I'm like, that's great, but like, think about this, and this. And it's like, I just don't like things when they go wrong. So I also made the mistake in genre swap last year of like, because we were trying to decide between 2 different events, genre swap and music 411, and
I forgot about that.
I stupidly put up my hand and I'm like, why don't we just do both at the same time? And then our event just got more and more confusing from there. So. Yeah. Oh, well. So there will be 3 events for the first years. Genre swap, Winner's Circle. That's
a new one, yeah.
If you couldn't tell by the lack of person next to me, Kim is sick this week, so Kim is in jail. Please look forward to our Instagram post about that. So she would have been able to tell us more about whatever Winner's Circle was. I think this is the first year it's happened.
Yeah, I think it is a new one.
Yeah.
I know we didn't do it last year, so I think that's...
Yeah.
They cut...
Our Lips Are Synced.
Yeah.
Which is... I'm a little upset about. Maybe
Wasn't
we
that
need
the
to do
drag
something
one
like that.
Last year?
No, that's the drag brunch.
No, I swear there...
But
it was like the lip syncing
it was a lip sync battle.
Okay, yeah.
So
but I think some
maybe
people did it in drag.
Hey, if you guys need another idea, you should do a lip sync battle and take it over from the first years.
Honestly.
Just like a small one, or like you
like
can attach
RuPaul's
it to something
drag
else.
Race, like
Like
themed lip syncing battle.
Oh, what's it called? Like the dance part at the end of the show. I can't remember.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. And
I can't remember what it's called, and it's upsetting. So yeah, they'll have genre swap, winner circle, and songs revealed, and we will reveal the second year events soon once they're decided on. You guys will get weekly updates. All right, so coming up after the music break, we'll be talking more with Kelsey, more about your enterprise and personal life. And don't forget that you can follow us on social media at DCSA Media Hub and at MBM Vault. And we're going to play some music. Here's Going Under by Evanescence and Shepherd of Fire, Avenged Sevenfourth, live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca. Welcome back to the MBM Vault. I'm Abigail Hammerton.
I'm Kelsey Miller.
And now we're going to go more into you. Aren't you excited?
I'm nervous.
It's okay. We've got some good questions.
Okay.
So you obviously you're the manager for Legacy Branding,
yes.
And would you like to provide like a brief overview of your enterprise?
Yeah. So Legacy Branding is the MBM graphic design enterprise. We mainly do like art stuff, so like EPKs, posters, one sheets, stuff like that, but we are trying to get more into like branding development, so kind of helping artists decide like what kind of artistic direction they want to take with their career. So that's kind of like in the beginning stages right now.
Let me know when you want to do some like MBM Vault merch.
Absolutely.
We're always open to that.
We can do that. Send us an email at branding.legacy@gmail.com.
Oh yeah, so add that to my pile of emails of the week.
Yep.
So from one manager to another, how has yours been going?
I really like being a manager. This is kind of my first time in like a manager/leadership position, but I really like it. It also like was a great opportunity to meet a lot of the first years, because I feel like if I wasn't a manager, I like wouldn't know them. Like, I don't know.
I don't.
When I was a first year, I was like so scared of the second years. So that was kind of my thing. I was like, I want to like make friends and help the first years, because I took all these classes. Like, I can help. So
yeah, I'm also on like the younger side.
Yeah.
So like there was definitely like distance between the second years and I. And like I'm very like underqualified and like not as mature as you. Yeah. Because I think there was like some second years that were possibly like 10 years older than me, if not more.
It's weird in this program. It's like some people are fresh out of high school, like 17, 18, 19, but then some people like this is their second career. Yeah. Which kind of threw me off guard, because I was like, I took a gap year after high school, but I was still like pretty fresh out of high school, and I was like in class with like people that have kids and stuff, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It was also like
nice.
The interview process was also interesting, because again, you get someone with like a full career like resume thing, and then obviously you can assume from that how old someone is, and then you're like, I think at that point I was freshly 19.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
it was
interviewing someone, and they're like, I don't want to make this awkward.
It's nice though. I like it. Like, you meet a lot of interesting people, especially in this program.
Definitely. It's like I feel like I'm so like boring compared to some people. Yeah. Because they'd be like, oh yeah, I used to do this as a job, and I'd be like, I've worked at Loblaws for the last 2 years as.
I worked at Hot Topic. That's like it.
That's cool though. I want to work at Hot Topic.
It was seasonal. It was fun.
Challenges. I apologize. I didn't look over the script as much as I should have.
That's like kids in jail.
I also didn't bring my glasses today. This is going to be an interesting episode.
I don't have mine either. Squinting.
We can be blind together. Yeah. It'll be great.
The blind leading the blind.
Yeah. So how do you go about working with other enterprises, and what is your process?
I mainly just wait for them to send me an email, because I feel like Legacy and emerging songwriters, it's like we can't really do anything until people need us. Right. So then I wait for someone to send me an email, and then I will text my team and be like, hey, like I have this project, who's interested? And then we kind of talk about it amongst ourselves, and then I'll email back and be like, hey, like this designer is willing to work with you. They're really excited. Like, here's their contact info. You guys can get started. And it kind of depends. I try to pair up designers with the projects, like kind of based on their interests. So like if I know someone is into like pop music and we have like a pop artist that needs a logo, I'm like, okay, you would be the best person for the job, just because I'm like, if you only listen to like indie music and I'm like, hey, I need you to make like a metal logo, I feel like that wouldn't work. But at the same time, I like to try and challenge people. So sometimes I will like assign one project to the entire team to give the artist options. Because I feel like if it was me, I would want like multiple options, and sometimes having one person make like multiple logos or multiple posters, it can be really time consuming, especially with like all the other classes people are taking. So I try my best to kind of like distribute the work evenly, but also make it so that whoever we're doing the project for is going to be happy with the result.
We have a sort of similar, but like mostly kind of different enterprise with our situation. We've talked about it many times with people in our course. Like, our enterprise is kind of like an island. We do have to go to others if we want things, but we don't have to want those things, kind of thing. If it makes any sense. Like, if we don't have an interview, it's not the end of the world. Probably won't be as interesting of an episode as having someone on the show. But at the same time, like, we also have the opportunity to get a whole bunch of interviews from outside of the program. So we're kind of like flashback. I was talking to Abby and Matt about it. Like, if we want something, we kind of have to go after it ourselves, but we don't have to wait for others to progress as an enterprise. So
I feel like there would be no shortage of people to interview, especially like there's so many local bands around here that are probably looking for publicity and stuff, so that must be like interesting.
Yeah, we've had some local bands on. Like, we had one, and we also had like Ethan, and I think he wants to come on with his band eventually.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Him and his brother. And we also have the opportunity now to perform like acoustic over like
Oh,
in the
really?
corner over there. Yeah,
Oh, that'll be good.
So we're waiting for someone to want to do it. So like, what are some common challenges you may face, and like what strategies do you implement to overcome them?
Sometimes like people will be like, hey, like I need a logo or I need a poster like this week, and I'm like, okay, well, everyone has a project, so like I can try my best, but I usually will try to tell people to give us like 2 weeks to get something done, just because again, like, we are all students, so like everyone has a bunch of homework, everyone's, especially now with event workshop and stuff and also music week, I feel like everyone is going to be so stressed out, so I'm trying to kind of be like, hey guys, like, try to get at least 2 hours of work done a week, but I don't want to like overly stress them out, so sometimes the emails kind of pile up and I'm like, hey, give me a minute, I'm doing my best. That's probably like the biggest challenge, or just not like, maybe the client is like, hey, can you change, like, they want a lot of changes made, which is fine, because again, it's a learning opportunity for the designers. Like, if you send something to someone and they're like, hey, I'm not the biggest fan of this or that, can you change it, then they can like kind of go back and see what they can do better. But that actually hasn't happened very much, so that's
good.
That's
means
good.
your designers are great.
I know.
So what are your future plans, or do you have anything coming up for your enterprise?
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet. We do have like a really exciting project in the works. There's now going to be a MBM Instagram.
Yes. Super
so
excited
everyone, please follow it. It's at DC Music Business on Instagram. But that account is going to be managed by the Legacy team. So it's mainly going to be myself and Anna, who's my social media girl. She does the Legacy Instagram. And then hopefully next year and like in future years, it will be like a Legacy project. But I really want that account to be about like the lives of the students, because I feel like this is a really unique program, and if we can kind of get it out there, I think a lot more people would be interested in it, because like it took me a while to find this program, I'm not gonna lie, especially because I came over from the States, and I know there's another international student of first year who also is from the States, and I was kind of like, how did you even find this? Like, it took a while for me,
like, even domestic students, I feel like, because I was scrolling on like Ontario colleges, because like I was looking, like, I needed one, because you pay like a fee and then you get like a certain amount of applications, so I was like looking for like my last one, because I had too many that were too similar, so I was like, I gotta like get some variety in there just in case. So like I kept scrolling under, like, I think I searched music as like a
that's what I did. I was like, music business programs in Canada.
Eventually it showed up. I'm like, all right, that seems cool. Let's see if I get in. If not, I have like, I think I had like 2 other like radio broadcasting course. I had like a songwriting course, which I've never written a song before. I don't know why I was going for that. And then I applied for like a whole bunch of Bachelor of Music. Under like the universities.
That was my thing though. Like, I'm not a musician, but I was like, how do I get into the music like the business side of it? Because I was like, that's what I was interested in, because I've been going to concerts like forever, and so I was like, okay, this is what I want to do, but like, how do I get into that? And so I feel like there's not that many programs like that. Like we were talking about this before. Like, there's a couple big ones in the States, but like, especially if you're an international student, even if you are like, they do like in-state and out-of-state tuition. Because I think in Canada, it's like if you're a Canadian citizen, you just get whatever tuition. It's like domestic or international. But in the States, it's if you live in the state and you want to go to school in that state, you get cheaper tuition. Like if you want to go like a couple states over, it's like tens of thousands of dollars more expensive. So I was like, I think even coming to Canada as an international student would be cheaper than like going out of state if you're an American citizen. So it's kind of crazy. So I think like this is a really awesome program. Like, I've really been enjoying my time here. So I want to like kind of spread the word about the program, especially for people that aren't musicians. Because again, that was another thing. Like, I was looking at a couple other programs like this in Canada, and it said, okay, like, it's a music business program, but then you have to audition to get in. So like, you still have to play an instrument or be a musician. And I was like, I feel like there are so many jobs in the music industry where like you don't have to know how to play an instrument. So that's why I like this program. I really like that it is focused on the business side. So yeah, I'm hoping to do that. And then like interviews with students and professors. We have some really awesome professors. That's what I really want to focus on.
They're very interesting.
Yeah, they've got some crazy stories, and that's honestly one of the best parts of this program is I really like all of our teachers.
Speaking of, still trying to get Marnie and Catherine on the show.
Oh my God, yeah.
I bring it up every so often, and then like usually Catherine's like, yeah, that's an option,
that would be
and then
awesome.
Marnie's like, I'm not.
I think you need to get Greg on the show, because he's got some wild stories. Or honestly, Val.
I don't think the show's long enough for Greg to be on the show.
I'll never forget, like, it was like the first communications class with Val, and there was this big picture of her with Ozzy Osbourne on the screen, and everyone was like,
see, that's what you remembered. I remembered the picture with Kermit the Frog.
Oh my God, yeah. And then there was the one with, was it Celine Dion? No, it was Cher. I think it was Cher. And then she was like, oh yeah, one time I took Stevie Ray Vaughan to a Blue Jays game, and we were like,
yeah. Oh, it's like when Greg's
show.
Like, oh yeah, I had like lunch with Dolly
Parton. I had lunch with Dolly Parton. One time I was backstage with Kiss, and they're staring down at me, and I was like,
what the heck?
Hello? And I think he had a picture with Dave Grohl. Remember when we had one class period where he was just showing us pictures, and I was like...
Yeah, there was just like the first class of marketing last year, and he just like a list of people he's met.
He's a really interesting guy.
Yeah.
I think he would be a great guest on the show. But yeah, that's... Sorry, I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but that's the plan for the MBM Instagram account, and then also like use it to promote Oshun Music Week, probably. Right. So, but yeah, I think... you and I can team up on that for some interviews.
Absolutely. Any other enterprises, if you want to collaborate, just let me know.
Send her an email.
Yeah, because I need more of those. Is there any like thing upcoming in the semester that you're excited about?
I'm really excited for the tour management class. I don't know. We have that first assignment, and I think it's really good. I remember do you remember orientation? Actually, funny story. We met at orientation.
She sat right next to me.
I remember I
Unprompted.
I was so scared. I was like, okay, I need to make a friend. I didn't know anyone. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to like sit down next to the first person I see and make a friend.
Yeah, so I think technically we're the first people we met in the program.
You were, because you were sitting in like the front row, and I was like, high school wasn't my thing.
The safest place to sit.
Oh yeah, well, like high school wasn't my thing, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to be super like type A in college. Like, I'm going to do all of my homework on time. I'm going to sit right in the front of the class and take a bunch of notes every lecture. So I was like, okay, orientation, I'm going to sit in the front row because I want to like make a good impression. And then I was like, you're sitting by yourself. You're my new friend. So I went and sat down right next to you.
I went with the opposite tactic. So like if this was the class, like there was a whole bunch of people sitting in like the rows at the edges. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess I can't sit next to the wall. And then there was, like, some people in the back. And I'm like, well, I can't sit there either. So I think it was, like, the first or second row. And then there's just, like, no one there. And I was just like, I'm going to sit there.
In high school, my tactic was to sit as close to the door as possible, but, like, in the middle. Because I was, like, I don't know. There were so many, like, stereotypes about that. I feel like in high school, it was, like, if you sit in the very front, you're, like, a nerd. And if you sit in the back, like, that's where, like, the kids don't care about classes. So I was like, okay, I need to sit in the middle and then close to the door so I can, like, leave as soon as possible.
I come from a very small town, so, like, everyone kind of knew each other, and the teachers kind of knew everyone. So it didn't really matter where you sat because the teachers already know who you are. So it was, I'm blind. So, not actually, I don't mean to. Anyway, I just can't see very well, and I don't like wearing my glasses because I'm...
Are you wearing contacts?
No. I just generally cannot see right now. So if you see me
that.
Like
no, I did that
really
for the longest time. I was like, I don't like the way I look with glasses, but I feel like putting in contacts is such an effort. Like,
I usually wear contacts, but my newest prescription wasn't correct, and because I'm 3 hours from home, I haven't gone into the optometrist yet to fix it. So it's just been like glasses this entire time.
Mine is
and
like,
I get headaches.
I don't know why. I just feel like it's such a big deal. Anyways, okay. The whole point of that story was orientation first year. Do you remember they asked us? Everyone had to introduce themselves and say what they wanted to do as a career. And like 90% of people were like, I want to be a tour manager, or like I want to get into touring. So like, and I was like that too. I was like, oh, I'd like to get into touring. I want to travel. And I like live shows, so like that's why I'm really excited to see like
I'm
how
at that point
tour
now
management goes.
where it's like I want to be something to do with touring, but I don't want to be the tour manager because that's
a lot of
stressful.
work.
I would love to just be.
I want
to
do merch,
or like that, or like I think it's like a tour mom.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like I will gladly go get you something from a convenience
I just want to be the
store at 2
personal
a.m.
assistant, honestly.
Or something like that, honestly.
Like, hey guys, like, can I get you anything? Like, do you
have you ever seen like the second Pitch Perfect movie?
A while ago, probably.
And she's got like this intern job, and she's like super upset because she's only like fetching coffee and all that. And I'm like, I would love to do that. It's such a mundane task, and still being like in the industry sounds amazing.
I'd like to do merch or like wardrobe.
Oh,
because I used to be really into like sewing. Yeah, in high school that was my thing. Except last year, like I brought my sewing machine. I live 16 hours from here, and I drive to school because I have my car here because I work. And I brought my sewing machine, and it literally sat in the box the entire year. So then this year I didn't bring it, and now I want it.
That's
fair.
I'm
like, I have so many clothes, like I want to alter.
Yeah, my bass guitar sat in the corner of my dorm room all last year, and then I didn't
you play
bring
bass.
it.
I remember you used to talk about that last. Oh yeah, because
I brought it up every
bring
so
it to
often.
live sound.
I did, just simply because I wanted to see what it sounded like on a proper amp, and then we never got to it, so I was like, I don't care. Also because my skill, like that is definitely the instrument that I play that I'm worst at.
Really?
So like I'd like to say I'm pretty good at the trumpet and the flute, but no one ever taught me how to read the bass clef. So like I don't even know what that is. At reading the bass clef. Well, go into who was I explaining this to last week? Kim and I were sitting like before our show last week, and I went into this whole little rant thing because she asked about the bass clef. Anyway, it's the clef underneath the treble clef. Anyway, moving on. So it's the instrument I'm worst at. So
I don't know anything about instruments. I tried to learn guitar during COVID lockdown, like when we literally couldn't leave our house for like 3 weeks. So I borrowed a guitar from a friend, and he gave me this huge amp. Like it's not a practice amp like the little ones. It's like this big.
Yee.
And his like electric guitar, and then I gave it back to him because I was just borrowing it. And he was like, you can keep the amp for now. So I went to Guitar Center and bought like a $70 like child size electric guitar, and I still can't do it.
I would offer to teach you, but I also can't play the guitar. So.
Yeah, I'm not very good.
If anyone wants like basic music lessons, I can teach you how to read music.
Oh my god, make that a segment. Make it a show. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone wants that. It's also like it's very much I feel like it's one of those things where when you learn it, you kind of have to be there to ask questions.
Yeah.
Because like if you just like go over something too quickly, everything after that won't make sense.
Marty Music. That's how I learned guitar. Like when I was trying to learn, I literally watched Marty Music for like hours at a time, but I can't do the power chords, and that's like the main thing. Like and that's why I wanted to learn bass, because I was like, it's way easier for me to like use my fingers
on bass though.
But I'm like, I like the one string riffs, like I can kind of do them, but they don't sound very good. I tried. I think it took me like 2 hours to learn the Weezer riff. Oh. And it wasn't even tuned properly, so like you kind of hear it, but like it was very good.
Yeah, I was thinking like, because you know how Push Play has like little like teaching sessions. Maybe I could just teach everyone basic sheet music.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting class, and I feel like I wouldn't be a very good teacher. Just get angry the entire time.
I wanted to be a teacher for the longest time, but I think it depends on like
I don't think I've wanted to be a teacher since like 2nd grade.
If I wasn't in this program, I probably would be in school to be a history teacher.
My friend
that was like
went
my other
to school
option
for being an English teacher when English is like one of her least favorite subjects, and I'm like,
that's the thing. I feel like that about math, and I'm like, I can't do math. I hate math. But if I was a math teacher, I think I'd be the coolest math teacher ever, because I'd be like, I hate this just as much as you do, but you're going to learn it.
Oh, gosh. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up after the music break, we'll be talking more in depth with Kelsey. And don't forget that you can follow us on social media at DCSA Media Hub and at MBM Vault. And you can go follow Kelsey at KMMILLO1 and at legacy.branding. We're going to play some music. Here's Coming Undone by Korn and Wait and Bleed by Slipknot, live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca. Welcome back to the MBM Vault. I'm Abigail Hammerton.
I'm Kelsey Miller.
And we're going to go more in depth now, so bear with me. Do you have any ideas of what you want your future career to be? Big, scary question.
That is a really scary question. I don't know. I'm kind of playing with like multiple different ideas right now. I work at a venue right now. I really like live shows. Like, that's kind of like my biggest passion. So I think anything in live, like venue management, maybe. I really liked our marketing class. That was something that really surprised me. I think working in like marketing specifically for music would be really fun, or like promoting. But
I liked marketing. Sure. I was not good at it though.
I liked it. I liked what was the big assignment we did?
Marketing plan?
Yes. Forgot that. But I thought that was fun. I really liked it. But yeah, can ask me that question again next year. Hopefully I'll have an answer for you.
Okay, I was hoping I would have like an answer by the semester, like last year. Yeah. And the more I think about it, the more like I knew what I wanted to do when I came into this course, and this course has made it so I don't know
exactly.
What I want to
do. That's the thing. I say that all the time. I'm like, when I came here, I was like, I want to be a tour manager. That's like that was all I could think about. And then the more classes we took, I kept getting like kind of interested in some other stuff, like hearing our professors talk about different career paths. But then every class we took, I was like, okay, now I know what I don't want to do.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like narrowing it down for me.
No offense to like event planners, I definitely don't want to do that.
I don't think
I'm not good at it, and it stresses me out too much, and it's just.
My thing is, I've always worked in retail, and I like working with people, and I really liked working in like a busy store on the weekends and like running around and constantly being busy and like kind of being a little bit stressed all the time. Like that was motivation for me. So I feel like working in events would be kind of fun. Yeah. Like the day of the actual event, but like all the planning. Oh yeah. I would just be so stressed out all the time.
It was just like a big ball of stress for me last year. Event workshop 1 was just like, I could tell there was people enjoying it, so I knew it wasn't just the class, and it was just me not enjoying it. So, and unfortunately we have it again this year, but I feel like I've put myself in a job this year that I can actually do and not want to quit.
I like this year that we get to actually choose the events we're doing, and I feel like that's going to make it a lot more enjoyable for people.
And we have more like control over it now. So obviously you said marketing and things like that. Is there any other programs in the courses that help you like figure out what you don't want to do, if that makes sense?
I was not the biggest fan of music supervision. Like I liked like I have always been really into like movies and TV shows and stuff. So when I first heard about that job, I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like putting songs that I like into movies and TV shows I like, but then the actual like process of doing it
Oh, yeah.
It's just so much. Yeah, it's a lot of paperwork and like charts and stuff.
And there's just so many things you don't think about when you like think about.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
And it's like it's not only like matching the music to the movie. There's also like, can you even afford that music?
Can you afford it? You have to get all the rights. Yeah, exactly. That I don't think I'm cut out for that.
Yeah, like just like if you have your mind set on something for a movie, I feel like, and if you didn't get it, I would just be so like upset, and because I'd be so attached to like
that's my thing with event workshop. It's like I'm so attached to some of the events, like the ideas that we have right now, and I'm like, okay, this isn't even like set in stone yet, so I shouldn't be getting attached to it and getting my hopes up that we're gonna do this event because it might not happen. I don't really think I'm cut out for that, but it's the same with like working in a venue, booking. I like booking too. I forgot to mention that earlier, but like oh, there's this band I really really want to book, but then it doesn't work out. I'd be like, I don't know. I feel like that would upset me. I liked contract law too. Weirdly. I didn't expect that, but I was like, I'm not going to go to law school, so I was like, I don't know what I can do with this. Like, obviously, it's good to know, regardless of what you're doing in the industry.
Half of it was, like, what Marnie said, like, went over my head, but the other half was like, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
And I surprisingly did pretty well on that project.
I think that was one of my favorite assignments we've ever done, but I did the Avenged Sevenfold Warner lawsuit, so I was like, that's a band I really like.
The proper way to say that band name.
Well, it's like, when you are doing it for like, the thing is, I didn't do very well in high school, but now that I like what I'm studying, I'm doing a lot better in school, and it's the same with the classes. Like, I get to research a band I like, so I was excited for it. I was working on it a lot because I was like, this is like one of my favorite bands, so I'm like interested in it.
Right.
So I think that's why I liked that class a lot, but overall, I think it was interesting.
So you're working at the Biltmore right now. Do you want to give us like a little rundown of what you do?
Kind of whatever they need me to do. I mainly do coat check, but I've done merch, which I really like too. I did a bar back shift once. That was stressful. And I do box office, which is fun too. I really like it. I think the main thing with it is like, obviously working in live shows, which is something that I really like, but then also like I really like my coworkers. Right. So like that makes it fun.
And you also have how'd the street team go? I know you guys were finding people for that.
Yeah, so we have a street team. I'm like trying to think of like what I can talk about. Mainly we organize like posters for them to put up. It's like kind of a marketing thing. Mainly we're in the process of planning a giveaway right now for a show coming up, so stay tuned. Exciting. I don't know if I can talk about it yet, but yeah, we have like a really good team. I think almost everyone is MBM, so that's nice.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's fun now because I was a member of the street team last year, and now I'm running it with Bailey, so it's fun. I like it, but
I wanted to do it, but like with managing,
it's a lot.
I'm already have too much on my plate.
The thing with it is like the main thing is like hanging up posters and like posting on social media about shows. So it's kind of just a marketing thing. Like there isn't too much work for them to do, but at the same time it's good because if they want to like come to a show, we can usually guest list them depending on how busy it is. Like if we have tickets still, then we can just guest list. And then they can shadow too. So if like you're interested in like doing sound or lights, you can come to a show and kind of watch and shadow, learn some stuff. So yeah, I think we'll probably be doing that again next year if anyone's interested. Keep an eye out.
Well, that sounds exciting. That's the end of our show today. I look forward to seeing you back here next week. And you can follow Kelsey on Instagram at KMMILLO1 and legacy.branding. And please don't forget that you can also follow us on social media at DCSA Media Hub and at MBM Vault. And here's Uprising by Muse. It's been an interesting show. And playing us out live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca.